Hi there, Edwin West here doing my third film review on YouTube. This one is of a film I've recently watched, Ivan the Terrible, Parts 1 and 2, produced by the great director Sergei Eisenstein, commissioned by Stalin himself. I'd like to interpret the films as Stalin's testament, his explanation of his own often incomprehensible actions. The film's full of references to the state of the Soviet Union in the 1930s and 40s. For me, the most obvious similarity is that both Ivan the Terrible and Stalin effectively abdicated or resigned, whatever you call it, in the middle of their reign at a crucial point. Stalin vanished for, I believe, 13 days just after the German invasion. Whether it was a nervous breakdown or he was testing his Politburo to see if any of them would betray him, I don't know. Although my instincts go towards the latter. And Ivan the Terrible abdicated in 1564, I believe. And he, in fact, twice in his reign, actually, he abdicated, and both times the people begged for him to come back, but gave him absolute power. There are other similarities. The boyars in the film Ivan the Terrible are very similar to the old party members who needed to be purged in Russia, or, less obviously, the gentry in pre-revolutionary Russia. Ivan the Terrible in the film talks about replacing patrimonial estates inherited from father to son with estates reserved for service nobility. If you don't serve, you don't get land, which is the same, in effect, as the Soviet Union was doing. Communist Party was essentially a new form of service nobility, although they wouldn't have liked the comparison, obviously. And the Oprichniki in Ivan the Terrible parallel the secret police in the Soviet Union. And there's a very important scene from the beginning of the first film, which is set in Poland, where boyars are conspiring with foreign countries to invade and create a weak government. And they almost do, but then hear that Tsar Ivan the Terrible has recovered from an illness. They thought he was dying. So the point is that you need a strong ruler to keep foreigners from invading. That was his explanation. Whether you think it was a satisfactory one, I don't know. But there it is. Of course, the second part of the film was never released in Stalin's time, possibly because it was too close to truth for his liking. I don't know, but I'm glad I've managed to find both. I'm sure he'd be horrified right now. Well, see you later, YouTube. Bye bye.